Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Stefano and Time here on Acropolis, the latter edition. Thanks again to Sniper Monkey for finding the best replays from WCS Fall, the group stages especially. And yeah, he did a lot of work, so go ahead and compliment him in the comments, and I'll make sure that he sees them. All right, so top left-hand corner of Acropolis is the Red Zerg player from France. It is Stefano. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the Blue Terran player from China. It is Time. All right, it is really hard to not do time-related puns on accident when you're casting Time. If you're trying to do it on purpose, I imagine it's super easy. But, Stefano loves his creep spread. He loves being aggressive. He likes going for things like Niduses. I love the creep spread most of all. There are just a handful of pro players who are Zerg who really prioritize creep spread. Stefano was one of those. I like that about him. And Time is just, I'm going to tell you, he's scary. His multitasking is insane. He's aggressive. He's good at defense. He's good at map positioning. He knows where to put his army when he needs it to defend against Zerg attacks. I mean, he's taken down players as good as Elaser. He's taken down He's taken down a lot of EU Zergs who are higher ranked than Stefano. So we'll see how Stefano does here today. This dude is pretty darn accomplished, especially in the Heart of the Swarm era. He was really good. Did take some time off to get an education, which is totally understandable. And now he's back, it seems like, and competing again. So I'd like to see him, you know, place fairly high in the next couple of WCS events. Although I guess we're done with 2019 at this point. It's just BlizzCon left over, and he did not qualify, which again is no shame because, by golly, how many people qualify for BlizzCon? It's like 16 total people. It's not a lot. In the whole world, man, mind you. Anyway, we got a Reaper list here, and, what is this little Reaper's name, lads? What's it going to be? Oh, my list was not ready. Hold on. Please to be holding. That's saving. Oh, it did. Thank goodness. All right, so Reaper name here today is going to be Dead. This Reaper was simply named Dead by his platoon leader because this way he could always say he's dead, and it would still be accurate. That is some dark stuff, platoon leader of Dead here, but it's Dead the Reaper. See how long he lives. Sometimes I lose track of these guys, and they die, and I don't notice. This one's not going to die here, so we're not going to pay attention to him too much, but that's a pretty quick third hatch from Stefano. I think he got that up. Did he skip speed? He did skip speed to make that happen, which means he didn't saturate his gas quite soon enough. He can start speed now if he wants it, right this very second. He's got 100, 100, and there it goes. Okay, so speed is delayed, which means this Reaper can be pretty annoying for quite some time, but did not delay the third base, which is what really matters here. Time back home, obviously, is thrown down as natural, upgrading to an orbital command. We're going to start some Hellion pressure behind this. There have been some comments recently from people saying that the openings are a little bit stale in these different matchups, and can't say that I necessarily disagree with that. I mean, like I say this a lot, but the Reaper opening that forces out the Lings, we've seen it 800,000 times. And how many more games have been played besides the ones that I've cast, right? So, I mean, how tired are these players of being like, all right, it's going to be a Reaper opening, I can defend it with 4 Lings, my Queen comes out, the Reaper can't do anything, then there will be a Hellion follow-up, etc., etc. I mean, they almost probably breathe a sigh of relief when it's a proxy barracks. At least it's something different compared to the standard macro stuff that we see a lot in StarCraft 2. The other matchups are pretty similar as well there. PvT. There's going to be some Adept Scouting, Adept Harass. Going to get some Marines out. Go for some kind of a Widowmine drop is pretty standard. And anyway, it just does feel kind of samey. I'd like to see a shakeup in the meta, but man, the proposed balance changes, you see those? Blizzard put out a list of proposed balance changes. That's the important word there, is proposed. And it's not great. I mean, even as somebody who mains Zerg and appreciates Zergs getting buffs, I don't think Zerg needs all of the support that they got. Hellions are definitely enough here to shove this away. Like, the Hellions. The Queen count is nicely done right now from Stefano. Maybe, honestly, they're kind of all clustered down here by the third. You might be able to swoop in there, but you'd probably get stuck and die. So that's why Time is not working on that. Maybe he tries to clear off some creep tumors if they are smart enough to come out here. That positioning is pretty good out of Time, actually. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's not great. I'm just not a huge fan of some of the proposed changes. And I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe no more than 2 or 3 of them made it into the final patch of the next update. It's not really going to happen until after BlizzCon anyway, so there's a lot of time to test, a lot of time for people to give their feedback. And yeah, one thing though, people have complained that they did increase the damage per second on infested Terrans, which is true, but they also increased the cost of infested Terrans. So actually, if you do the math, infested Terrans are not as good. You can't make as many of them, and that's not basically that's enough to overcome the DPS buff that they get. I don't know what the decision was behind that. Honestly, I don't understand it, but Blizzard's thinking about doing it anyway. Also, they're trying to slow down the ability of Nidus Worms to ingest and exgest. What the heck is the exude? I don't know what the word is here. Creep Tumor's getting roasted up, by the way. Stab, stab. Evacuate? I guess evacuate units from the Nidus Worm. Slowing both of those down, which I don't think many people are complaining about. Even Zerg players are like, that's fine, I guess. It seems like kind of instant ingestion and instant evacuation is kind of weird. I don't think we need it that much anyway. Man, these lings are ready for some kind of a drop, which, by the way, does not happen right now. We're definitely going Hellbats. Definitely Hellbats, and trying to drop them in places. What the heck? This one ling is going to knock down this wall all by his lonesome. Hey, guy. How you doing? Not great. Pretty much dead. Yep. True fact there. Now, I don't know, man. If you Hellbat all of these, there are no Banelings. There are no Roaches. There are Queens, man. Hellbat transformation? Alright, so one Queen down to regular Hellion attacks. Spore Crawler getting free shots off on that medevac. Great positioning on that medevac. Loving it. Out of Stefano here. The aggression by time is nuts, though. He's got to Hellbat these things. Maybe bring some medevacs in. Oh, Lings go. Oh, no, time. You can't get surrounded like that. He just lost way too many Hellions to a Ling attack. That was not good. That was really bad. He kind of set himself up, though, batting himself against a wall here to where the Lings could jump in and pounce on it. These two Hellbats are trying to kill this hatchery, but good luck with that, guys. Like 4 or 5 Hellbats, maybe, but 2? No. 2, definitely not. Great positioning, though, trying to keep them alive as long as he can. More Hellions cruising on in. Once again, though, I think these are the guys that escaped the last attack, and they're all dead. So, Stefano doing pretty good for himself, I gotta say. He has got 4 bases up. He's sitting here at 71 workers to 53 for time, whose 3rd base is done. Pretty happily defended. Widowmines in the mix here, too, recognizing that Stefano's going for a lot of Zerglings. Widowmines are going to be a pretty good answer to that. 10 drones at a time from Stefano. Now that he's being left alone, he is droning his face off, as Zerg players like to do when they are left alone. +2/+2 coming in for Stefano. For his Lings, obviously, because he got a lot of those, and why would you get missile attack when you have 100 million Lings and Banelings? Which is what he has right now. So now it's a Marine Widowmine attack here. I don't know about this. The Army Supply for time is bigger right now. The Widowmines kind of perfectly counter these Lings and these Banelings. Okay, they all fired. Maybe a little bit prematurely there. And then the surround and the pickup, and not everybody can fit. And time has to retreat. Man, all those Widowmines firing at the same time on basically a couple Banelings was not great for time there. He wanted to get some more better hits than he got, and he didn't, and that's kind of the Widowmine way, though, right? Either it explodes on like one Zergling or a Queen, or it takes out 10 Banelings. Those are your choices. It seems like, man, Stefano's everywhere. Look at him just not allowing time to unload anywhere at this point. Sure, a lot of tumors have died, but he's replacing them pretty effectively. Again, he loves his creep spreads. Time taking a 4th base, which seems a little bit exposed. I mean, this one Widowmine could probably take out 10 Lings that try to run in here. It's really, really well placed. Like I said, Time's placements, he knows where to put stuff, where it makes sense for him. Stefano's 5th base is coming up at the same time, and we're definitely macroing this out right now. A couple more tumors go down. As I said, a lot of tumors have died in this game. Hydralisk's on the way, so it's going to be a Hydroling Bane thing with Queen support, which I kind of like here as long as the tank count doesn't get too high. Widowmine's not quite firing this one. Look at them trying to kill it without taking a shot. Oh, that's gorgeous by Stefano. What control. What control there. Trying to get these tumors down, and no. All right, so all 4 of them accomplish nothing. Hive on the way from Stefano. Probably, I don't know, man. I was going to say Ultralisks, but with the Hydras popping out and going for the Muscular Augments, I don't know what we're looking at right now. Widowmine takes out a handful of Zerglings, but not the Banelings, and I'm pretty sure that's all Stefano cares about is, do my Banelings stay alive? I don't know. Drop down here at the 4th base. Rah, 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 rah. Drones forced to retreat from that position. They don't like what they're seeing. Widowmines. Friendly fire? No. My gosh, that split by Stefano was disgusting. Meanwhile, Marines pushing up, killing more of these tumors. You want to play the game of how many tumors have died in this game? Is a lot. It is 37 creep tumors have died. And currently we have a total of, as this group shouldn't have been loaded there. That was bad. 53. Gall, even the medevac's getting cleared out because there are now Hydralisks in the group. So Stefano's in a bit of trouble, I gotta say. He's down in army supply. He's down in worker supply. He's down in total base count. He's down in overall supply here by about 35-2, which is not a good place to be against a Zerg player. Chitinous plating coming in, +3 attack coming in, and adrenal glands. Come on, get adrenal glands for your Zerglings. They will be happy if they get it. No? All right. Oh, we just started it. Thank goodness. All right, so adrenal glands on the way. 5th base, 6th base for Stefano coming up north. This is pretty intimidating from Stefano right now. Again, Time is a great Terran player. I would not be shocked if he won this game, but currently Stefano seems to have the upper hand, although forcing a cancel on that 6th half is pretty good. Oh, cancel nothing. Oh, no, Marine left behind. Never leave a man behind. Well, we left a man behind. Yeah, forcing a cancel. Actually, no, I keep saying that. Killing that hatchery entirely was pretty good from Time. I'm not gonna complain about that at all. Those banelings explode on those rocks. They should not have done that. That's bad. Don't have banelings explode on rocks. It's a total waste of banelings. All right, so we got liberators in the mix now too. Widowmines again, firing at will. Banelings just crush it on. They don't care about Widowmines. But, all right, with this large group of Marine Marauder, though, perhaps we do care about that. But Ling's going for that wraparound. Hydras, I've been in the situation before, man. Lingbane Hydra is pretty good against Liberator Marine Marauder. Off creep, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, Stefano's not either. He's going to pull back. And this Planetary Fortress is able to hold off these Lings because, well, first of all, this Widowmine killed 5 of them. And repair is pretty great. And there weren't any Banelings coming in, I don't think. Unless there were Banelings and they died to that Widowmine. Hold on. Real quick. Oh, yeah. So 2 Banelings come in, and I think... I don't know. What did they do? No, these guys absorbed the shot. Ow. Did he target... Oh, he target fired the Banes with the planetary. Time! That was filthy. That was fantastic. Man, these guys just really on top of their game here today. Both of them. Great little tricks. Great little just micro potential being taken advantage of here. Stefano's 6th base is going to finish this time unless something crazy happens. I don't see it. That's 22 Banelings in production at 1 position. How do we feel about this time? Not great, he says. Ah! Even off creep, this is not good for us. Stefano does not want to engage off creep. He's going to push right up the middle, though, that's for sure. Changelings scouting the way in. Widowmine's getting some decent hits off, but again, friendly fire is a concern. Pushing on in. Army supply 110 to 61. I think Stefano has this. I'm looking at it right now. He is pushing on, and this 3rd base is in a lot of trouble. There's a handful of bio here with some Liberator support. Maybe they can hold it. Planetary Fortress. Oh, here come the Banes, though. That's it. Banelings exploding. No! There was not enough damage there to take down that Planetary, but the 3rd base is in a world of hurt. Liberators firing on in, getting target fired by the Hydras to some extent. Right now, 3rd base is lifted. That's a lot of income you're losing, guy. But Time manages to hold it off anyway. So Time continuing to push it back here. I mean, this creep spread is just silly. It is just silly out of Stefano. I told you, he loves his creep spread. He wants to marry his creep spread. That doesn't make any sense. Whatever, it's cool. It's late. It is late. My 3 remaining brain cells are complaining at me, but we're sticking in. I'm telling you, Stefano is up 50 overall supply. Again, worker count, army supply, all this stuff. Resources lost are about even, which is bad if you're the Terran in a TVZ. Your resources lost should be higher for the Zerg player. What are these Lings doing? Okay, I guess they're distracting so these tumors actually get down, and, well, 3 of them do. That counts for something. When your creep is pushing up on your opponent's 3rd, you know your creep spread is pretty good. Like, exceptionally good here. Pushing up. Small group. Doesn't want to risk too much to kill these tumors, but he really wants it off his front porch. Oh, gosh, Stefano. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, this... goodbye all the things. Just too much Zerg. Banelings crushing on everything. Hydra's taking down the Liberators. Queen's in the mix. Because, again, the creep spread is here. The Grand Army is decimated, and by decimated, I mean eviscerated, removed from the game. Liberators getting focused down. Transfuses coming down on the Hydralisks to keep them alive. These Liberators doing some good here, actually. And by golly, Stefano not able to kill Time here, but it's not looking good. Morlings in production. 170, 101, 109 supply. Time is standing in like a boss. Just holding against wave after wave of Zerg attacks and Zerg aggression here. +3 attack on the Zerglings and Banelings. +3 armor. Got 3 attack for this bio. +2 armor here. Did not go for the +3 armor, which I feel like would have been useful, but hey. Time's a better player than I am, and he's trying to put the pressure on Stefano, but he has to clear out creep first. And that is just so demoralizing. Stefano's taking another base down here, and he's another base down here too, so double expanding is insanely good. 7th and 8th bases coming up for him. Music is way too chill for the situation. Time is backed into an absolute corner. A ridiculously tight corner right now. His 3rd base is happily mining. He's got 56 workers. Again, with mules, he's better off than he would be normally if he was Protoss or Terran with 56 workers. So that helps. It does, but I don't know. I mean, the Widow Mines are doing some work here. Is there enough bio to hold? Again, I keep calling it over for time when these attacks come in, but are there enough hiders to deal with the Liberators at this point? Yeah, I kind of feel like there are, and that is your good game. Stefano is your winner in 15 minutes and 43 seconds of this sneaky twofer, so don't go anywhere. We got more Stefano in time coming up next after this. Sneaky twofer time is now, and woo! What an intense TVZ. I'm telling you, time doing what he can, but not able to keep the pressure up. I'm surprised by this. I would have liked to see more drops from him, especially since Stefano did not actually have a Spire. Drops would have been pretty good. Keep that aggression up on Stefano. Force him to replace drones instead of making army units. But at the end of the day, it was just that time wasn't able to hold on to the number of bases that he needed to, right? I mean, 41 SCVs died. That hurts quite a bit. This base was not going to happen. The creep spread was way down here to the south. It was way up to the north. It was rough sledding there for time. Once the creep spread got up here, and once Stefano felt entirely safe to double expand to get upgrades to produce 10 hiders and 44 lings at a time. He got his 3-3 up real fast, and just threw wave after wave here. At the end of the day, again, 25,000 resources lost for each player is bad for the time, and that explains a lot. So upgrades were good. I mean, it's really hard to say what else could be done. It is difficult to see what else could be done here for time. And Terran fans are like, yes, I am aware. I'm extremely aware of the situation, Falcon. Thank you so much. But, again, I kind of feel like going for a Hellbat attack would have done a lot of good stuff there. Stefano did not have Banelings yet. All he had were Lings and Queens, and like a 10 Hellbat attack with some medevac support would have done a ton of work, but I don't think he had the medevacs yet. And by the time he got them, I think Banelings were around, and then suddenly the Hellbats aren't as good, and that window was closed. But let's go to game 2. Just stick with it. Go to game 2 here with these players. Let's see who comes out on top in our sneaky... Well, that's got to be a 0, Falcon. Sneaky 2 for Be Right Back. Welcome back. It's game 2. On Ephemeron, the ladder edition. Bottom right-hand corner, Stefano. Top left-hand corner, Time. Still red versus blue. Same colors as last time. And, yeah, once again, it is hard to avoid saying time in a StarCraft 2 cast, but if I make a pun, just assume it is entirely unintentional, okay? I even have a spot on my Discord, well, a channel on my Discord labeled Shameful Puns, because puns are the lowest form of humor in my estimation. All right, man. Here we go. Man, my pop filter will not stay. It's pretty good. I think I'll do that. I'm like messing with the arm while I'm casting. That's better. I don't have to hold it in place with my mouth anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Stefano going 16, 18, 17, as you do with your Zerg these days. It's just really safe. There have been other similar style builds for earlier versions of StarCraft that have been extremely safe too. This is just the current iteration. I actually saw a question posed on the Pylon Show. So the Pylon Show is a weekly kind of Twitch cast with, well, with Artosis. In Control used to be heavily involved too, but ever since he passed, it's just kind of been Artosis. And inviting other people from the StarCraft 2 and StarCraft Brood War communities to come in and talk with them about different topics and express opinions and whatnot. And then they allow patrons of the Pylon Show to ask questions. Now, I think they allow everybody ask questions, but especially patrons get priority. But As one person said, well, it kind of feels like starting with the 12 workers makes it easier and safer to take these macro-style openings than we saw in earlier Legacy of the Void and Heart of the Swarm games. Do you feel like this is limiting the style of games that we see in Legacy of the Void? And I thought it was a good question. I don't know if we got picked for that Pylon Show episode or not. I think I'm casting this before that episode. Well, that episode I think started airing when I started casting, so I haven't seen it. But if anybody watched that episode, let me know. We'll maybe talk about it in a future cast. So anyway, Reaper here is Ronald McDonald, the Clown Prince of Burgers. Ronald McDonald's reign of supersizing ended when he was arrested by the Terran Dominion. He was not arrested for contributing to the obesity crisis, or running restaurants barely above the minimum health codes, or for employing the Hamburglar, but because Emperor Mengs once wanted ice cream, but was told the machine was broken. That's a meme now, right? I mean, that is rough stuff for McDonald's. You never want to have a meme involving your stuff being busted when people show up at your restaurant. I gotta say, it happened to me once. It did happen to me once. I went there for lunch at work. There's just one across the way. I went there with a buddy, and I wanted some ice cream. I think I just wanted like a McFlurry, and they were like, the ice cream machine is broken, and I almost laughed. It's like, the meme is real. I thought that was just made up. No, man, it happens enough that people like resonate with that statement. And the ice cream machine is broken and turned into an actual kind of societal thing, which is insane. Anyway, how you doing, Ronald McDonald? 0 kills? Cool, cool, that's fine. Totally fine, but I'm glad you're not dead at this point of the game. Oh, I lost track of dead, didn't I? I lost track of dead. I was probably telling a story about something else. That's 3 brain cells for you guys. That's what you get. Stefano going again for a pretty fast hatch. This was before speed again. Yeah, speed is not almost done yet. It's about 40% complete is all. But Creep spreading on out, trying to connect all of his bases with Creep. That's what this streamer is for, and this one is for pushing out across the map. Meanwhile, Time, really going for standard stuff here. Though he does, okay, that's a Viking. I guess he got one of those last time. So no big deal on that one. I pressed the wrong button. Let's make sure we're zoomed out a little bit. And do the Hellions going to move out? They sure do. 2 of them staying home in case some Lings show up and try to cause some problems. These 2 trying to see if Lings are coming across to try to cause some problems. And the Reaper is scouting that information too. So the Hellions should be able to push out here with their buddies in just a second once the coast has been deemed clear. But once again, the queen count is just high enough and just positioned well enough that it doesn't matter. So, I mean, first player I saw really doing this is Snoot. She was like, you know what? Queens are good. Their, like, ground damage isn't ridiculous, but they're tanky. It takes a long time for Hellions and Reapers to kill them, and just having a bunch is nice. They're good against Oracles. They're good against Liberators. They're pretty decent against small numbers of unupgraded Marines. So, like, early game, all you really need are Queens and Zerglings for the most part, and Stefano is adhering to this principle now. Scouting Overlord doesn't see anything. That is, like, the worst possible Scouting Overlord of all time. Got no information at all. See how this Queen is shoving away that Viking? That's what I'm talking about. Queen, good unit. And at this point, Stefano basically just non-stop made Queens for the first 4 minutes. He's got 7 of them now. And then he'll just make 2 more. Why not have more than 7? That's what I always say. They're good against Hellbats, they're good against Hellions and Reapers, and again, small groups of Marines, and pretty decent against Marauders with numbers, and Transfuses especially make them good in just 1-to-1 hand-to-hand style combats here. Trying to get a Hellion drop on it is almost impossible because, again, there are Queens ready to stab you out of the sky. The Queen anti-air is some of the best anti-air in the game. I mean, it's not Marine good, but it's not bad. And Queens sure are tankier than Marines are, so there's some trade-offs there, too. So far, Stefano defending pretty effectively. That, I mean, yeah. Alright, so that Medevac is dead. The Hellbat transformation is just ill-fated. They're going to kill some Lings, but literally that's it. That was rough. I'm going to say it now. That was rough for Time. He didn't do anything there. Some Zerglings died, but the Medevac was out. The Hellbats never got anywhere near any drones. So remember this last time when I said going for Hellbats might be a good idea? Well, I mean, it was, but... Oh, is this surround real? Is this surround real? One of them, yeah. Doing this off creep is actually pretty hard. Stefano... Oh, don't stop. Oh, gosh. Stopping means you die, but I guess continuing to run probably means you die too. Yeah, Stefano really wants these Hellions dead. He might have overmade Zerglings to make sure those Hellions are dead, but he can make it up, it seems like. Killing those Hellions means he doesn't have to worry about Hellion attacks anymore. Look at this Queen line. Stefano is already at the halfway point on this map with his creep spread, which, okay, in fairness, is like 1 tumor, 2 tumors, 3 tumors, like 4 tumors out, which is not that hard at 6.5 minutes, but still. Is my creep spread out here at 6.5 minutes on this map? No. So that's one thing you can do when you watch these games is see what the players do, and is your third base for Terran up at 6.5? If it's not, you can do better. You watch it, and you just set times for yourself, right? You learn specific build orders. You go to lotb.spottingtool.com for build orders that the pros use. Follow them to a T, get your timings down, get it so good. You can do it in your sleep. You can do it when you're being harassed. You can do it when you're harassing. Because that's the thing. Most people are like, I have a build order, but then when a Liberator shows up, it all falls apart. Or I have a build order, but then I go for a drop and I forget to make stuff back home. Yeah, once you have a build order and once you're comfortable with it, you should be able to do it pretty much in your sleep while you're doing other stuff. Anyway, we've got a double medevac drop here at about 7 minutes. Again, not super fast because of the Hellbats that existed and didn't do anything. But Queens are here, Lings are here, Banelings are here. That hatch is canceled. So Stefano's 5th is canceled, but his 4th base seems pretty darn fine. He just wanted to get even more ahead with the 5th base, which he is replanting because, again, cancel means your drone is still there. And everything's fine. Infestation Pit on the way from Stefano. And the creep spread, again, just insane. I think when Sniper Monkey sent me this particular game, he said, the creep spread is out of this world. And I was like, well, it's Stefano. Like, obviously it is, but I think he's right. This is really good creep spread. Call that group surrounded by Lings and Banes, too. Stefano just has the exact numbers of units in the exact right places that he needs to have those units in order to be successful. Time is making tanks because tanks are really good on this map. You know what you do with tanks on this map, everyone? You put them on these bridges. Because you know how you kill tanks? If you're Zerg, you surround them with Lings and Banelings and stuff. But if they're on bridges, it's hard to get that surround off, surprisingly. See, it's even hard to get a surround on Marines when they're on the bridges, but you know what? Chewing them up is pretty effective if you can sneak that surround off. And that's exactly what Stefano managed to do. He's got 1-1 on his dudes. The Marines are also 1-1, which means everybody has effectively 0 upgrades at the moment. So Speedlings against unupgraded Marines, not too shabby, and that's what you got to do. You got to keep up with the Joneses. You got to keep getting those upgrades because your opponent's getting them. If they're 3-3 and you're at 1-1, it's going to be a bad time for you. Your units will be even squishier than you think they normally are, whatever your units happen to be. Because everybody thinks their units are squishy. Units die pretty darn easy in StarCraft 2, as compared to different RTS games like Warcraft 3, for example, where it takes forever to kill things. Which, I like Warcraft 3. I'm planning on playing Warcraft 3 Reforged whenever it releases. Sometime, like, this year, they said. Who knows if that happens to be true, but... Alright. No! Oh, no! It was a Widowmine drop, but I think one of the Widowmines got down, and then the medevac got picked out of the sky by a combination of Queen and Sporecrawler. This is just going so poorly for Time. I'm really surprised at this. I'm telling you, I've seen Time beat some really good EU Zergs. And I thought Stefano was maybe not as good as those EU Zergs, but I might be proved wrong here. Stefano is really on top of his game here at WCS Fall 2019. He's just got swarmed. It's just Lings and Banelings. That's all this is. He doesn't have Mutalisks. He doesn't have Corruptors. He doesn't have Infestors. He's just Ling and Baneling winning these fights. More creep spreading once the Terran is back. Sure, Time has a 4th base up, which is really nice. He's just working on additional barracks. He's got a couple factories up for those tanks, which again, he didn't make in the last game. Widowmines getting some friendly fire, but killing a lot of Zerglings too. 18 kills and 12 kills on those Widowmines. Does he not even have Overseers? There you go. The Overseers are coming in now. And my gosh, though. He's just exploding Banelings into tanks like it's nothing. Killing a bunch of Widowmines here, too, is pretty good. How many Widowmines have died compared to Zerglings? Let's find out. 14 Widowmines have died, and 225 Lings have gone down. They do go ahead and force a cancel on that command center, and by that I mean they force a cancel, there you go, on that command center. Time was trying to throw up additional orbital command. Whether that was for mules or whether that was for actual base, I don't know. So again, Banelings are pretty happy to explode on Widowmines. Chomping them up. I mean, the fewer Widowmines that are in the universe, the better the things are for these Lings and these Banelings, which are specifically created to explode to Widowmines. Same story here, man. Kind of splitting this time except with Ultras, but the 3-3 is here. Adrenal Glands is coming in at 11 minutes. Baneling's not doing a whole lot to this Terran bio. But Time does manage to hold here. Got 14 more banelings coming up the front. This creep is pushing in on this third again. At 11 minutes, it's pushing in on this third. I thought I saw something blue down here. Did I see something blue down here? I don't know. I don't think I did. Widow Mines again, just, it's hard to control where they're going to fire at all times. These ultras are skating around a bit. Not sure what they're trying to attack other than maybe they're trying to stay out of the Liberator circles, because that's what happens if you don't. Lings and ultras trying to take down this Planetary Fortress, but again, the repair of SCVs is pretty darn good. Planetary Fortress ends up living with, I want to say, 20 kills? 36 is a good number. Ultras, Anabolic Synthesis coming in, so they're going to be tanky, and they're going to be faster off creep than they normally are, these Ultralisks. Liberators to deal with the Ultras. It's a decent choice. We've seen it work in the past. Also, a bunch of tanks usually works. But Time has not really been allowed to get up a bunch of tanks. I think he has one at the moment. Let's count it. Yeah, one tank. So his tank count was never that big to begin with. But anyway, Stefano has expanded on the right side. He's expanding on the left side. This is how you want to do this if you're Zerg. So even if Time pushes in and kills this base, you still have this one to fall back to. Once again, really wants this Planetary Fortress down and gonna get it. Oh, the Banelings. Yeah, the SCVs are not going to stick around and repair if there are Banelings cruising on in. Lings and Ultras coming into this front door, picking off some reinforcements. That final tank is going to be saved by the bio. Saved by the bio sounds like a TV show that is on in the Caprulu sector every week. Maybe from the 90s. Is he not? There was an Ultra over here. They want to kill this Planetary first, and they're going to get that. Okay, so now what they might be able to do is wander around and kill that one. I mean, this is... Remember what I said about losing bases? Not as big a deal if you have hatcheries on the other side of the map. Yeah, that's a cancel and a replant. Not a huge deal from Stefano. It wasn't that far along in its construction, I don't think. Time pushing in with the Liberators. Coming in with his bio here, too. Army supply fairly even at this stage, but the creep just makes it so hard for Time to really go anywhere without being immediately spotted by the Zerg player, and the Zerg having a speed bonus advantage when they decide it's time to kill them. The drop, that force to cancel on that hatches here. Ling's going to finish off that final tank. The push in the middle is being cleared up by tanks here. They're sitting in Liberator circles, but what else are you going to do? That hatch is going to go down. Time does take down a hatch, but he's got Ultras and Banelings at his front door going after his... Oh, that's a lot of SCVs. The natural base is in trouble. Starport is in trouble. Ultralisk has 5 kills wandering on in. Look at the pickup and drop we're seeing here. Out of Time. Basically forcing the Ultras to drop into these circles of death to deal with the bio, but so many SCVs are dead. So many SCVs are dead. I mean, Time is down to 22 workers to 86 for Stefano. I know I say, there you go. That's your good game. I was going to say, you know, Terrans are never dead until they're dead, but this one was dead. And Time is out. Stefano wins this 2-0. I got to say, I am surprised by this outcome. I thought Time would take a game in this series, maybe 2, but at the end of the day, Stefano just outclassing Time with just stupid amounts of macro. Really, really dumb amounts of macro. Amazing amounts of creep tumors. How many are here at the end of the game? 84. 84 creep tumors at the end of the game. He's pushing up on every single base that Time has. Creep is edging its way up ever closer to it. And Time knew. He lost so many SCVs. This Ultralisk is chomping on the main base SCVs. There's an Ultra over here chomping these guys up. This base is getting chomped by a 16-kill Ultralisk. They're going after the Fusion Core. 2, I mean, the upgrades are disgustingly good. 3 Anabolic Synthesis and Chitinous Plating for these Ultras. In addition, Adrenal Glands. And yeah, he's like, I mean, why... Stefano says, who needs Aspire to take down a Terran player? Who needs Corruptors to take down Liberators? Who needs even to kill the Liberators? We're just going to have so much stuff they can't hope to keep up with all of the stuff that I have. And gets the win. Again, resources lost here, even. Stefano's fine with that. He can afford to make more stuff and lose more stuff and still win. And that's what happened here today. So, I mean, he didn't make Broodlords or Infestors at all in these games. He didn't make the units people are mostly mad about. No Nidus Worms either. Just simply Ling, Baneling, Ultralisk. End of discussion. And Queens. That's literally all he made. Look at this. Look how small this Unislots tab is. I'm not saying that because he didn't lose much, right? 9 Ultras and 400 Lings is a lot of dead stuff, but there are no Hydralisks, no Roaches. Again, no Infestors, no Vipers, no Broodlords, no Corruptors, none of that stuff. Just simply Lings, Banelings, Ultras. And he won a high-level game at WCS Fall against Time, a really good Terran player. It's macro, man. He just made more stuff. He kept his stuff alive, lost 1 hatch in the game, killed 2 planetaries and an orbital, and called it good. Incredible stuff there today. Nicely done. Honestly, nicely done by Stefano. I'm just really, really impressed by this. But for now, that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.